get my director's
That's
sheet.
right. Yeah.
So Kostya, who are you?
I am Kostya and I'm a filmmaker or a videographer. Kind of, I don't know. There's not really a term I would call myself.
So what's the difference between a filmmaker and a videographer?
So I think a filmmaker is a videographer can be, you know, someone to film a lecture. But see, that's the thing, like I can't say that's not filmmaking.
So, young guy, breaking into the film world, like what made you want to go down this path?
Oh man, so many reasons. I don't know, I think I just like to make things. I think that's kind of the root of it. And then it's also a great way to reach other people and work with other people, like-minded people.
So you get to kind of have a backstage pass into people's lives and careers and private stories and hopes and dreams and wishes and aspirations, and you get a chance to bring those to life. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. I try to engage as much as possible with them. Like everyone that I've, which you know is still limited but hopefully growing, that I've worked with, have crazy stories, and it's so hard, I think, to put all of that into a video because there's so much information. So it's a lot of pressure to kind of pinpoint those like specific areas that's most important that will kind of sum up what they're trying to tell and what they're trying to say. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure, but it's also part of the fun, the creativity part of it.
It's more like because what you're taking out is more important than what you're leaving in, because
Yeah, it is so hard to take those out because like the more footage you take, the better. But sometimes you take a lot of footage that's really, really good, and it's so hard sometimes to be like, people aren't going to see this shot. Or
what will people find when they work with you as opposed to choosing another videographer? What?
Oh man, I think that I like to grow a much more personal connection with them. I mean, depending on what they're looking for from me, but I think it really helps with the final project or whatever I'm doing with them. And I think that benefits both of us, you know, because that way it's another connection, and it's also a connection for them with me that, you know, maybe I have other people that they can reach out to as well.
So already in my limited experience with you, like somebody referred you to me, and then I referred you to somebody else, and then they referred you to somebody else. So why are people referring you?
Oh man, I don't know. I have no idea why. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. Just like right now, I'm just trying to do the best that I possibly can and be the best I possibly can. I just don't. I feel like I just don't take these opportunities for granted, or I try not to, because I know, and I've heard tons of stories of how crazy difficult it is and it can be to find jobs like these, and I've been very fortunate. I don't know if that didn't really answer the question.
It's a really important question to figure out the answer to.
Yeah.
Because once you figure out the answer to that, that's kind of your secret sauce, right?
Yeah.
And actually, truthfully, I think you already answered the question. Is that it's that connection that you make with people. What is some of the harder things for people to do when you're directing them?
That is a good question. I think for the most part it's just feeling comfortable to be in front of a camera, because it's often like you don't know where to look, you don't know, and generally as soon as you're in front of a camera you're super conscious of how you look and how you speak and what you're doing. Normally I would say pretend I'm not here, but that doesn't, I mean, you know, I am there. It's much easier said than done. I try to, let's say it's an interview, I try to make it sometimes more of a conversation if they're really uncomfortable. So it's not like, oh, you have to say this, you have to this and this, and it has to be this perfect way. I like things looking natural. I like and capturing, you know, natural reactions. So I think as soon as it becomes more of a conversation, it's more like, okay, I'm just talking with this person.
If there was just one thing you could tell people, what would that one thing be?
Just do it. I don't know. Just go for it. Like, actually, I think this year in particular, it's been something that I've been kind of following, because I don't know, when something new arises, like anxiety builds up, and it's like, I don't. And then it's kind of have to like make my mind go blank and be like, okay, it's fine, just do it, and it almost always turns out really well. I'm super excited about what I'm doing. I would say I'm obsessed with it. I'm constantly writing down goals. I have in my room, I have 2 like giant card posters that I've written out, not all of them, but a few of like the big goals that I'm focusing right now, more short term. And then I'll like add little annotations and things, like just little things to show like, oh, for this goal, this is what I've done so far to try and achieve it. And then finally, once I achieve that goal, I'll get a new poster, put some new goals on there.
You are very well traveled. You've lived all over the world. You speak multiple languages. How has that impacted or influenced what you do?
Oh, I think it's given me a huge appreciation for different lifestyles. Like, it's still so fascinating for me to kind of learn about how they live. And that's not necessarily like just through like speaking with them and talking to them, but it's like through observation, like seeing their homes and what kind of things they have in their homes, and that it's noticing the differences and similarities between people from, you know, who might be different side of the world.
So what's the difference between a filmmaker and a videographer?
So I think a filmmaker is someone who's more story-based. I just think that videographer might be less creatively fulfilling. You know, you might be doing certain jobs or projects where, you know, your client just wants a very specific thing. You know, I think in that terms, like, okay, yeah, you have the equipment, you can set it up. Whereas a filmmaker is, okay, where can you take that? Yeah, I am Kostya, and I'm a filmmaker.
Mic drop!
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Now.